Listen guys, I'm tired of you guys being so bad. I'm gonna be honest with you. You guys load in my games and you just go like 0-15. I'm tired of it. Today in this video, I'm gonna go over 10 pro tips for Call of Duty Cold War multiplayer that you need to know so you stop feeding in my games. Welcome back to COD Filming. Let's get into the video. Number 10, don't lose that trigger. One facet of Cold War multiplayer that seems to be tripping gamers up is a new mechanic that makes enemies harder to kill. Veteran COD players used to previous games can find themselves letting up on the trigger before their target has fallen, and this can be quite costly. Those new to the game will have to get used to holding down the trigger until the target is fully down, otherwise the opponent has a chance to win the shootout. However, high-powered weapons like sniper rifles still have a one-shot kill mechanic, so players should not overdo it when firing from afar or they could give away their position.
Gotta love bots, man. So from here onward.
Number 9, counter-slide firing. Sliding in the Cold War took a few knocks during the early alpha and beta stages, but it's since been tacked up a bit. Still, it's effective as ever at making opponents very hard to hone in on during a fight. Those who have gotten used to this mechanic will use it fully to their advantage, at least until a balance patch comes out to address the issue. In the meantime, players can learn how to slide cancel, which is a tactic that takes advantage of an animation exploit in the game. Double tap to a slide, and then cancel the movement immediately thereafter. This makes the character move faster and harder to hit. Enjoy it while it lasts because it's going to be getting nerfed from 100 yards out before long.
Well, you can get to corners faster, and whenever you confront people, sometimes I won't expect it unless they're a controller player.
Number 8, sacrifice attachment slots wisely. Sometimes choosing the right attachment for a particular mode of play is far more valuable than hogging as many as possible. It's up to a player to decide what they are willing to sacrifice in favor of a specialty add-on, but it could help turn the tide in a fight by giving them a chance at overcoming bad odds. For instance, choosing the Cavalry Lancer barrel will prevent a user from attaching add-ons such as recoil dampers, but if going up against heavy vehicles, that trade-off is more than acceptable. Like in earlier COD games, Cold War rewards experimentation with loadout perks,
if I have to say so myself. So that's the weapon mod system. Apparently you can have one mod for every weapon. You can save.
Number 7, reloading down the sights. Running while reloading is nothing new, but doing so while aiming down the irons or scope is a unique addition to the game that can mean the difference between distraction and death. Reloading means potentially losing one's bead on a target, which makes this feature very important. Keep the aim steady and take the opportunity to stock up on a fresh clip without having to manually track and sight a target once more. How many kills this might net remains to be seen, but it's wise to keep in practice. Number 6, think tactically. COD games tend to be extremely fast-paced, and that means leaping into the kill zone only to get slaughtered, then respawning to start the entire process all over again. To gain ground in the Cold War, players need to think tactically instead of like an action movie hero. That means inching forward using cover to one's advantage, taking account of the proper perks, and forming a slow and steady approach that will negate unnecessary deaths and higher scores for the opposing team.
Your tactical sprint runs out at 4 seconds, so normally 3 seconds is a pretty good time to use it. And basically with restock,
Number 5, kill the score streaks. Score streaks in the Cold War can be quite difficult for new players to understand, and this has led to veterans taking full advantage and pressing their attack. Since the score earned doesn't reset when a player dies, this provides a base by which multipliers can speed up a score streak in relatively short order. Remember that mission objectives don't count towards score streaks, only kills. Care should be taken to eliminate any possible score streak vectors from the opposing side while playing a tug of war to establish your own. Otherwise, it's lights out in short order. Pro tip, vehicles are meaty targets for ending an opposing team's kill streak. Number 4, no more camping. Camping has forever been an element of multiplayer shooters, for better or for worse, but there's a new mechanic that Treyarch has slipped into the game that makes camping a no-go for many players. Ghost mode requires players to be mobile when they move in order to benefit from the non-detection plus. Camping down with the active won't do you much good, and will leave gamers detectable to UAVs. This helps shake things up by rooting out campers who are now robbed of their incentive.
Okay, I sound like a broken record. Mr.
Number 3, use shotguns more often. Close quarters combat, especially around corners, requires having the right tool for the job. Treyarch has switched things up a bit by making shotguns a secondary, which would definitely make for some punishing YouTube compilation videos. This is a good thing, as shotguns are much more effective at taking out enemies up close than a traditional machine gun or assault rifle. And they've been making lots of headway in games like Apex Legends. Make like aliens and check these corners.
Range and are confident in your single shot accuracy. Use a pump action like the R90. Either one is a good choice and has its advantage.
Number 2, don't neglect stim shots. New players who aren't fully up to speed on the mechanics and pacing in Cold War may want to take advantage of the stim shot, which comes a part of the point man loadout. This will help players as they navigate an unfamiliar terrain that could leave them wide open to enemy fire. If the player ends up taking hits, it's a matter of ducking behind cover to heal up quickly and live to fight for another minute or two. If nothing else, it reduces the death rate while providing the opportunity that coveted first score streak to kick in. Number 1, get back to basics. Sometimes it's easy to forget the little things one has learned throughout the many years of COD multiplayer, dating back to the original Modern Warfare. With so many new features, balancing tweaks, and other additions to consider, some might disregard the physical stuff such as running. When players run, they alert nearby opposing team members who will lie in wait for the right moment to strike. Run only when necessary, and be sure to take some cover wherever possible in case someone does a beat on you. Other times, use the silence as a tool when it comes to hunting and killing. After all, this is a franchise that inspired modern shooters while taking cues from the greats of old. There's a lot of history here.
Nicely done.
This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any of our videos in the future. Also watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye and take care, and don't forget to stay inside.